Hey guys, hello, welcome to my Soul Eater video. In this video I'm going to talk what Soul Eater is, what kind of debuffs he has, and some thoughts about my skill build and how Dreamer works in general. So I guess we dive right into it. Soul Eater is mainly a support debuff class for burst setup. So Screamer is not good for classes that have continuous DPS, but it's really good for classes that have like a lot of short burst skills like Adept and Ripper, for example. So Soul Eater in general has for Screamer have two self buffs, which is Grudge Formation and Genie. Grudge Formation increases your magic attack and gives you super armor. Genie increases your base stats. That's the two self buffs of Screamer. Then you have, obviously I'm not counting in Phantom Guard because it's kind of protective one that you use to reduce damage, but it costs a lot of mana, so in raids, unless you have a bringer, it's very sub-up to use it. Second, Screamer has three kind of debuffs. The first debuff is the puppet, so you need to use Stigma of Curse to summon the puppet, which gives an increase of 25% damage, which equals like 25% debuff, and you get an additional hitbox, which is the puppet. So regarding the puppet, there's a lot to explain. I recommend you go to the site that the one on Dragoner C has wrote. You can find it on the forum, and he wrote in detail how puppet works. So for now, just keep in mind you use puppet as last in your rotation, and you're going to use the extra hitbox to set up some skills like Ghost Scream, but later. So the second debuff we want to talk about is Soul Scream. So Soul Scream reduces critical resistance, which is naturally pretty high on cap 70, and it increases your crit rate by 62.5%, which is basically meaning you have crit crap during the duration, and it lasts for 17 seconds. I highly recommend to get +1 skill earring for that to get from level 5 to 6, since it deals a lot of damage. So the last debuff, which is kind of complicated, is the Curse debuff. So basically you have Curse as a stack, like imagine like ice stack, and you can get three layers of it. To get one layer, you need to get one hit of the skill. Skills that give Curse debuff are Spirit Paper, Soul Gate, and Beast Spirit. Those three are giving the Curse debuff. The Curse debuff grants you, except for getting additional damage from your 65 passive, it will decrease the elemental defense by 5% per layer. So it means you have 15% reduction on elemental defense, which can be pretty handy if you are making an elemental setup with only fire, only light, only dark. So basically it increases your damage by a lot. And the last thing is delay. So delay is one of the main reasons why you want to consider Soul Eater. You have delay on Cling Snake and Ghost Scream. So what's special about delay? Delay is kind of a slow that recovers over time. So for example, the slow on Cling Snake is 60%. It means the moment you hit the enemy, you're going to be slowed by 60%. but after 8 seconds it will be going up from 60 seconds to 10 seconds. And this kind of slow cannot be resisted by most of the bosses. So that's the main reason why you want to streamer. So short summary, you have 2 self buffs, which is Genie and Grudge Formation. Grudge Formation Genie. Then you have 3 debuffs, which is the curse on those 3 skills. And then last but not least, you take Soul Scream, which is your 3rd debuff. And one special thing about Soul Eater is the delay. So 2 self buffs, 3 debuffs, and 1 delay. That's what you need to know for Soul Eater. So next up is the skill rotation. So there are actually a lot of people who are not using the skill rotation correctly. So skill rotation means that you use your skills to synergize with the cooldown and the effect the most. So for example, a bad skill rotation would be if you're only using filler skills, like let's say Soul Wind. Like if you would only use Soul Wind, then you do a bad skill rotation. Or if the moment you feel running out of skills, you using a wrong skill rotation. It should be possible for any class to use any skill at any given time. That would be the perfect skill rotation. So for Soul Eater, skill rotation consists out of Genie Grudge Formation. Then you use Soul Gate to activate the Curse debuff. Next up, you're going to Soul Scream, which activates your 2nd debuff. And for 3rd, you're going to use Puppets, which would be your last debuff. Now you have also the variable of delay into which you have to take into consideration. But that later. So the debuff or the rotation is Grudge Formation Genie into Soul Gate, which synergizes perfectly well with your Grudge Formation because Soul Gate gets double buffed. That means Grudge Formation boosts your magic attack, and then with Soul Gate you buff Soul Gate on top of it. So that means double buff. So basically you use Grudge Formation, Genie, Soul Gate, and then you have 2 of the debuffs. So next up is Soul Scream, which is your 2nd debuff. That you try to Puppet. And then you use your delay how you feel it fits. Afterwards you can use filler skills like Beast Spirit, Spectre of Pain, and Soul Wind. In that rotation, the enemy should be dead instantly. Special notes about synergy. So one synergy aspect is the Soul Gate, which synergizes with Grudge Formation. So you have the double buff on Soul Gate. The second one is Stigma of Curse, which induced a brand buff, which basically means the Soul Gate does more damage and your Ghost Scream does more damage. The coefficient changes from Soul Scream from 20 to 24 and for Ghost Scream from 8 to 9. Basically it means there's additional damage. So what you want to ensure everything hits is that you have the boss delayed or he's on a skill rotation where you know he won't do much. On top of it, you have the Grudge Formation, which prevents you from getting staggered as long as the enemy is within Grudge Formation. So I'm going to repeat again. The skill rotation looks like Grudge Formation, Genie, Soul Gate. Get one Stigma for the extra hit on Soul Gate. Use Soul Scream. Summon the Puppet, double debuff on it. Then you use can use Spirit, Spirit Paper, Soul Wind, and Vector of Pain, which is basically filler skill. So people have been asking why not getting Revenge Hand. Revenge Hand is also an option you can consider. Like if you don't need double delay, or if you have a BT, you don't need no scream to get the extra delays. Basically, you can take Rampage Claw, which is going to be used after Beast Spirit as filler skill. So now, last but not least, my Skillbuild. So for Kali, I have checked a lot. For me, obviously maxing dodge, turning step, then Damikas. For me, level 1 is enough. You might want to consider getting it level 6. Mental mastery, mind control for PvE, not necessary, because as an end class you barely suffer from mana problems. Ever evasion max, since it's like your own evasion. You can also leave it at 1 if you low wind, but I recommend to get area evasion. Phantom Guard gives you some damage reduction, decent to use. And all other skills I'm not using. Soul Wind is a really strong filler. I definitely recommend to get that at least level 2. Otherwise, you can just lower it to get more evasion. As long as you do your job, it's filler skill. On the Screamer side, you want to have Puppet Max, which is one of your debuffs. You want the delay buffs max, which scale with level. And then you have Grudge Formation and Resolve buff. So regarding the Phantom's Avenger ultimate, it gives you increased movement speed and cooldown, so it's really good if you know when to set up. Soul Scream is kept at 5, you get +1 for level 6, same with Soulgate, +1 to get it to level 16. Vector of Pain can be 1, can be 8, it doesn't matter because it's just a filler skill. Obviously get all your EX skills and that's it. So going to repeat your perfect skill rotation. It's ultimate, you have to set up. Then you use both self buffs. Then you use your debuffs, puppets, the delay, and then you can use filler skills. And then your job is done. For Skillplates, I recommend to use Grudge Formation cooldown and Puppet cooldown. The other plates are optional. I prefer getting Slow Scream and Soul Wind, but you can also get Cling Snake damage or Beast Spirit damage. But I don't recommend to get Soulgate damage right now because Soulgate damage, the plate is bugged right now. So not use it until it's okay. I hope I gave you some overview about Solita class. Feel free to leave a comment and tell me what class you want to hear next. I can provide you with any classes. Like some classes I can only provide on PVC since I'm not having all subclasses, but I can tell you play it. So thanks for watching. Like or dislike the video. To subscribe and make sure you leave a comment. Thanks for watching.